Something changed today, not next month, not sometime in the future. Today, a new banking rule has officially been approved, and when rules change at this level, they don't stay small, they move fast, they ripple outward, they touch accounts, transactions, and everyday people without warning. Most people won't feel it immediately. That's what makes it powerful. Life will look normal on the surface. Paychecks will come in, cards will swipe, bills will be scheduled. But behind the scenes, systems update instantly. Banks adjust their monitoring. Internal policies shift. New compliance standards activate. And all of it begins quietly. Urgency does not mean panic. It means awareness. When something is approved today, it means the clock has already started. Policies don't wait for people to catch up. They move forward whether you are ready or not. And in banking, timing matters more than most people realize. Your account is not just numbers on a screen. It is your paycheck, your savings, your emergency fund, your rent money, your child's school fees. Any rule that affects how that account is monitored or accessed deserves your attention immediately. Here's the truth. Financial regulations often sound technical and distant. They're announced in formal language. They reference agencies and procedures. But once they reach your bank, they become personal. They become holds, reviews, extra verification steps, delays in transfers. They become real life. When a rule is approved today, banks begin preparing today. Internal alerts are updated, staff are trained, systems are adjusted. Sometimes customers don't notice until a transaction behaves differently than expected. That's when urgency becomes real. The difference between someone who hears about a change early and someone who hears about it late can be the difference between smooth access and sudden restriction. Preparation creates calm. Surprise creates stress. You worked hard for your money. Every deposit represents time, effort, and sacrifice. When new rules affect how that money flows, you deserve to understand what's happening. Not after a problem appears. Not after a declined transaction. Before. Urgency is about staying one step ahead. It's about paying attention when something significant shifts in the system. It's about understanding that financial rules are not abstract ideas. They are active forces shaping how banks treat accounts starting now. This moment matters because awareness gives you power. The earlier you understand a change, the more control you have over how it impacts you. And when it comes to your bank account, control is everything. This is not about some people. This is not about big corporations or secret financial networks. This is about you, your account, your money, your daily life. When a new banking rule is approved, it doesn't float above regular people. It drops directly into everyday routines. The paycheck you're expecting on Friday, the automatic rent payment scheduled for the 1st, the card you swipe at the grocery store, the transfer you send to family. That's where it shows up. It's easy to hear financial news and assume it applies to someone else. Maybe business owners, maybe investors, maybe people moving large amounts of money. But the reality is simple. If you have a checking account, a savings account, a debit card, or direct deposit, you are inside the system that this rule touches. Think about how much of your life runs through your bank account. Your job deposits your income there. Your landlord pulls rent from there. Your utilities, your subscriptions, your insurance payments, they all depend on that account working smoothly. One small interruption can create a chain reaction. A delay of even a few days can mean a late fee. A rejected transaction can mean embarrassment at a checkout line. A temporary hold can mean scrambling to move money around. These things feel small until they happen to you, and that's the point. This rule is not theoretical, it is practical, It operates at the level of transactions and verification. It can affect how quickly deposits clear. It can affect how certain transfers are reviewed. It can change how banks respond to activity that looks different from your normal pattern. Maybe you receive a bonus this month that's larger than usual. Maybe you sell something valuable and deposit the cash. Maybe a family member sends you support from abroad. Maybe you start a side hustle and your income pattern shifts. All of these are normal life events. But when systems update, normal can suddenly look unusual to automated monitoring tools. That's where the personal impact becomes real. You might log into your banking app and see a message asking for additional verification. You might receive an email requesting updated information. You might notice a deposit marked as pending longer than expected. These are not dramatic events. They are small signals. But small signals matter when your daily life depends on smooth access. The emotional side of this is important too. Money represents security. It represents stability. When something interferes with access to your own funds, even temporarily, it creates stress. It creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is heavy. No one likes feeling like their financial routine is out of their control. No one likes being surprised by a restriction or delay. That feeling can shake confidence, even if everything is ultimately resolved. But here's the empowering part. Knowing that this rule affects you personally means you can respond personally. You don't have to wait until something goes wrong. You can pay closer attention to notices. You can monitor your account activity. You can keep your contact information updated. You can ask questions before making large or unusual transactions. When you understand that this applies to you, you stop being passive. You become proactive. Your bank account is one of the most important tools in your life. It supports your goals, your responsibilities, your family. Any rule that shapes how that tool functions deserves your awareness. This is not about fear, it's about ownership. It's about recognizing that financial systems move quietly, but they move powerfully. And when you stay informed about changes that touch your account directly, you protect more than money. You protect peace of mind. You are not just a number in a database. You are a person with plans, obligations, and dreams. And when banking rules shift, they shift in your direction. That's why this matters. That's why paying attention today can make all the difference tomorrow. Here's what makes this even more serious. Most people don't even know this rule exists. There was no loud announcement, no flashing warning on your banking app, no message that forced you to stop and read. It was approved quietly, in official language, in documents most regular people will never see. And that's how surprises happen. You go about your normal routine. You trust that everything will work the way it did yesterday. You assume your deposits will clear, your transfers will process, your payments will go through. Why wouldn't they? Nothing feels different on the surface. But behind the scenes, systems update instantly. Internal guidelines shift. Monitoring standards tighten. And customers are rarely told in simple words what changed. That's the hidden risk. The first time many people hear about a new banking rule is when something goes wrong. When a transaction is delayed, when a deposit is flagged, when they receive a notice asking for extra verification. And in that moment, confusion turns into stress. It's not that the rule is secret, it's that it's buried in complex language and technical explanations. Most people don't read regulatory updates. They're busy working, raising families, managing daily life. They assume their bank will just function the way it always has. But financial systems evolve constantly. Compliance rules tighten. Monitoring tools become more advanced. Banks respond to new standards immediately, even if customers are still unaware. That gap between implementation and awareness is where problems begin. When you don't know a rule exists, you can't prepare for it. You can't adjust your behavior. You can't anticipate how a larger deposit or unusual transaction might be viewed differently under new guidelines. Hidden risk is powerful because it feels invisible, and invisible risks are the ones that catch people off guard. The advantage you have right now is awareness. Knowing that something changed today already puts you ahead of the majority of account holders who are moving blindly. Information transforms hidden risk into manageable reality. It gives you the ability to move carefully, deliberately, and confidently instead of reacting in surprise later. This is about community, not just a group of people who happen to use the same bank, but real families, neighbors, co-workers, and friends whose lives are connected through shared financial routines. When a new banking rule is approved, it doesn't affect one person alone. It touches households, small businesses, and entire communities that rely on money moving smoothly from account to account. Think about your own circle, the money you deposit, the payments you make, the transfers you send to support family members. They are all connected. When an account is flagged or delayed, it's not just your life that feels the impact. Your family feels it, your landlord feels it, your employees feel it, and anyone depending on you feels it. Community is real, and these changes remind us how closely our lives are intertwined with the financial system. The Haitian community, like many others, has always been resilient. We have endured challenges, built new lives far from home, and adapted to systems that were never made easy. That resilience is still here today. When banking rules change, the community that stays informed and communicates with each other becomes stronger. Sharing verified information, helping others understand new requirements, and checking in on one another can prevent unnecessary stress and losses. The power of community is also in preparation. One person who reads a notice carefully and updates their account information can prevent a problem not only for themselves, but for others who might rely on that information or guidance. One small act of awareness spreads, creating a ripple effect that strengthens the whole group. When someone proactively contacts their bank, submits documentation early, or keeps records organized, they set an example and inspire others to do the same. Unity and awareness turn what could be a stressful, isolating experience into one of strength. A community that stays connected, shares knowledge, and encourages action becomes resilient against sudden financial disruptions. Your voice matters. Your awareness matters. When you act to understand changes and support others, you become part of something bigger. You are not just protecting your account, you are helping your friends, family, and community stand strong. In a world where systems move quickly and changes happen quietly, a connected community is an unshakable source of security, confidence, and empowerment. When we stay informed together, we don't just survive changes, we thrive through them. Let's be honest, hope is not enough when it comes to your money. You can wish that everything will stay the same, that deposits will clear on time, that payments will go through, but hope alone doesn't protect you. Hope doesn't keep your account from being flagged or your transactions from being delayed. That's why reality matters. Facing the truth, understanding what is actually happening, and acting on it is what gives you real security. The new banking rule that was approved today is not some distant idea. It is real. It is active. It affects accounts, deposits, transfers, and the way banks verify information. You might think that if you've done everything right, nothing will happen. That's understandable. Most of the time, everything works as it should. But even honest, careful account holders can be caught in new procedures if they don't understand what's changing. Facing reality doesn't mean panic. It means clarity. It means knowing what your bank might request, understanding how transactions could be reviewed, and anticipating the steps you need to take to stay in control. Reality means checking your account information now instead of waiting until a deposit is delayed. Reality means being aware that unusual transactions could trigger additional verification. Reality means keeping records, communicating with your bank, and taking small actions that protect your money and your peace of mind. False hope lulls people into inaction. It makes them believe that because everything has worked before, nothing will ever change. But financial systems evolve, policies shift, rules update, and when that happens, the people who assume nothing will change are often the ones scrambling when delays or restrictions appear. Facing the truth gives you an advantage. It allows you to act calmly and deliberately. It allows you to protect yourself and your family before problems arise. Reality paired with action creates confidence. When you know what is happening and what steps you need to take, you stop feeling helpless. You stop fearing the unknown. Instead, you become proactive, prepared, and empowered. Every verified step you take now reduces risk later, protects your funds, and gives you control over your own money. Understanding reality is not pessimism, it is strength, it is courage, it is the foundation for taking control in a world where rules change quietly but powerfully. By facing the truth today, you make sure that your account, your money, and your life continue to move forward without unexpected interruptions. Information alone is not enough. Knowledge becomes powerful only when it is paired with action. And in the world of banking, taking the right steps at the right time can make all the difference. When a new rule is approved, it is not just a guideline. It is a force that will affect how your money moves, how quickly you can access it, and how smoothly your daily life unfolds. Waiting passively, hoping nothing will go wrong, is no longer an option. Every account holder needs to ask themselves one simple question: what can I do right now? Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Small steps taken today can prevent big headaches tomorrow. It might mean checking your account information and making sure every detail is correct. It might mean confirming your address, phone number, or email so that notices reach you on time. It might mean calling your bank proactively to ask what documentation could be needed under the new rules. Every detail matters because the system is more sensitive now, and small mistakes or outdated information can trigger unnecessary delays. Action also means preparation. Keep records of recent deposits, payments, and transfers. Understand where your money comes from and where it goes. If you have any unusual transactions coming up, like a bonus, a freelance payment, or a one-time transfer, plan ahead. Let your bank know if necessary. Being proactive can turn a potentially stressful situation into a smooth, seamless process. The emotional side of taking action is equally important. When you respond early, you reduce uncertainty. You stop feeling powerless when a deposit is delayed or a transfer is flagged. You stop scrambling at the last minute. You gain control, confidence, and peace of mind. Timing is everything. Waiting until something goes wrong is when stress, fees, and frustration begin. Acting early allows you to prevent problems before they even happen. It gives you the ability to navigate changes confidently rather than reacting in panic. Each step you take today builds protection for tomorrow, creating a sense of empowerment that no unexpected hold or review can shake. Taking action transforms the situation. It turns a new, potentially confusing banking rule into an opportunity to strengthen your control over your finances. It ensures that your money, your family, and your plans stay secure. When knowledge meets action, You don't just survive changes, you master them. Hope is powerful, but hope alone is not enough. You can dream that your money will always be safe, that deposits will clear on time, that payments will never be delayed. But hope does not guarantee action. Hope gives you motivation, but it is paired with awareness and preparation that makes real change possible. When a new banking rule is approved, it challenges the way your money flows, the way your transactions are handled, and the way your daily life functions. That's why hope must walk hand in hand with caution. Believing in a better future doesn't mean ignoring reality. It doesn't mean assuming nothing will ever change. Hope gives you the courage to keep moving forward, to trust that solutions exist, to believe that you can navigate challenges. Caution ensures that while you believe in better days, you also take concrete steps to protect yourself. When hope and caution meet, you become resilient, prepared, and empowered. Your bank account is more than numbers. It represents your security, your freedom, and your ability to take care of yourself and your family. When rules change, even slightly, it can disrupt that security. The fear of delayed deposits, frozen accounts, or unexpected verification requests can weigh heavily. That's where the balance of hope and caution becomes essential. You can face these changes with calm determination rather than panic. You can respond with smart steps rather than reactive frustration. Hope inspires you to keep dreaming and striving. Caution gives you the tools to act, to check your information, to monitor your transactions, and to communicate with your bank when needed. Hope alone could leave you unprepared. Caution alone might make you overly anxious. Together, they create a mindset of strength, awareness, and action. When you combine belief in a better tomorrow with practical preparation today, you create stability even in times of uncertainty. You protect your money, your family, and your peace of mind. You gain control over your finances rather than letting unexpected rules control you. Hope without preparation is fragile. Preparation without hope can feel heavy. But hope guided by awareness turns challenges into opportunities and uncertainty into power. By staying informed, alert, and proactive, you are not just surviving the changes, you are mastering them. You are creating a life where your finances work for you, not against you, and where every decision you make strengthens your future instead of leaving it to chance.